All right, so we picked our topics over prohibition and organized crime. For prohibition, we got George Remus, otherwise known as King of Bootleggers. He was an American lawyer and bootlegger during the Prohibition era. Remus was known to have referred to himself in the third person after his rise to power during the early days of Prohibition, which he reportedly continued to do until he died. It has been claimed that he was the inspiration for the title character of Jay Gatsby in The Great Gatsby. So he was pretty big in the bootlegging world. And then we got Elliot Ness, which has to do with organized crime. And he actually, he was an American Prohibition agent famous for his efforts to bring down Al Capone and enforce Prohibition in Chicago, and the leader of a famous team of law enforcement agents from Chicago, the Untouchables. So that kind of ties together with Prohibition and organized crime. Then we got Bonnie and Clyde, which was definitely organized crime, you know. Gotta love money. And then, so they're American criminals, traveled to central U.S., and they robbed a bunch of people. They even killed a couple people. Not too many, though. Keep the numbers low. And then they died May 23rd, and they definitely got shot. Like, they died. And then there's Al Capone, nicknamed Scarface. Oh man, that's a movie. He was an American criminal, obviously. 7 years as a crime boss, and it ended when he was just 33. So yeah, Al Capone was a street gangster as a child. Just since day one, as soon as he came out of the womb, he was out slinging stuff. Like he was bad. Capone's gang was ranked as much as 100 million annually. Like that's a lot of dough. And then we got the Italian Mob, which is an American-based organized crime network with operations in cities across the U.S., New York, Chicago, and they rose to power through its success in the illicit liquor trade during Prohibition. So a lot of organized crime actually came out of Prohibition, so they tie hand in hand together really greatly. And then we got a bunch of this random stuff that like doesn't have a whole lot to do with a lot of things, but like, yeah, just give you a good look at that. There we go. All right.
So, speakeasies. Prohibition took effect on January 17, 1920, causing many bars across the nation to close down. This caused an incline in illegal bars known as speakeasies in the U.S. These bars went by other names like blind pigs and gin joints. Speakeasies were Prohibition's worst kept secret, as most police forces were either buying liquor from these bars or getting bribed by them. Alright. Moonshine. During the outlaw of alcohol consumption, people started making their own. Moonshine was already being made before the 20s, but Prohibition put it in higher demand. Moonshine is a corn-based alcohol beverage that is illegal to sell, but not illegal to make. Alright, so